Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and radio. It's official. As of Friday, we have our own radio channel, so you can watch and listen, whatever works for you. We are live streaming on the radio 24/7, so take us with you. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is The Business Talk Show. My co-host, Mr. Alcini, has the day off, and stepping in for him is my friend. He's a wonderful person. He's a big part of what we do here at USA Global TV, and he is on the road in his RV, taking us with him. He has been with me. This is our third show today. Diane Floyd-Beam also has the day off, so I'm so thrilled and honored to welcome ROLAND FRIEDL to the program. Hello, ROLAND. You're on mute. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Again, hello, Dr. JACALYN again, and thank you for having me back.
It's been so much fun today. We started out with the United Kingdom news and culture, and then we had fashion, travel, and fitness, and now here we are in the business show.
You know what? I still can't stop smiling from the last two shows. It was so much fun.
And you know what, ROLAND, I started out doing all the shows by myself, except for this one, because Al's been with me since the beginning. But it's so much more fun to do it with someone else. It's so much more fun to have someone else here. So thank you so much for answering my invitation. I'm just thrilled that you're here. For people who have not met you before, I want to spotlight you. And then we're going to bring our guest out. We've got a great guest. I've met her just a short time ago, already have hired her to represent our organization and each and every one of us. And she's going to talk about the role of a publicist, which is a fascinating topic. Before we bring her out, I'm going to spotlight you. And again, for people who don't know you, they've been watching the business show. They're like, who's this ROLAND FRIEDL? What does he do? Tell us more.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm ROLAND, and maybe you can hear it from my accent. I'm not a native speaker. I'm born in Austria, a beautiful small country in Europe. And first of all, I'm a human being. I'm a man, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, and a lover. And I dedicated my life in supporting organizations and their leaders, not only to improve their performance and getting faster, higher, better, whatever, but also especially for their leaders to have a more purposeful and more happy life. Because what I saw from my own career when I was in the corporate world, I was very successful at a very fast starting career, but I had no energy when I came back home to my loved ones. I was married, 3 kids, 3 small kids. So I wasn't really present because I was so exhausted. So I don't know, I'm not a TV watcher, but I was addicted to food or alcohol and stuff like that. And I said, this is not all about my life. I want to change this immediately. And in many conversations with good friends who also have been executive managers in different areas in the world, they told me the same. So I made a decision to change my life first, go through those steps, and then help other ones to have a more purposeful life and be more energized. You know, giving energy to the job, to the organization, the company you're working for, if it's your own business or if you're hired, doesn't matter. But also to get energy out of it from the purpose of a meaningful life. And then with this energy, you spend the evenings and the weekends with your beloved ones. This is what I dedicate most of my life, because I think it's so important that we have not only a hustleful life, but also a happy life, a meaningful life. That's what I'm doing.
Thank you so much, ROLAND. One more thing I just want you to touch on, because I think this is really important and relevant to people all over the world, is that you live a wireless life. You are actually in a recreational vehicle pulled on the side of a road by a farmhouse, and you are broadcasting, and you don't know the person who owns the house. You were going to be on the show today, and this is how you did it. So tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll bring out Tracy.
Well, actually, I was always nowadays they say digital nomad. There was no digital in the beginning of my life. There was just a nomad. I always loved to travel, to learn from other cultures, from other languages, other food, cooking, everything around. Not just vacation, sitting in a hotel in a pool. No, I was really traveling, meeting people all over the world. I really loved it. And the last 15 years, I've been living on a beautiful island in Mallorca. This was my home base besides traveling. And I always was very keen, not only to travel, but also to work from the places I travel. And with the digital revolution and all this technical stuff, the last years, it was really, really easy to work from any place in the world. And yeah, actually, in January, there was a decision to go the next step, because even this traveling and even Mallorca and everything became a comfort zone, and I wanted to challenge myself again and get out of my comfort zone. And as I bought an RV 5 years ago and just used it occasionally for a little bit of vacation, I said, no, I move full-time into my RV, explore more Europe, be closer to my clients. And yeah, I'm here in the mountains, high in the mountains in Austria. It was a little bit of a scary trip up here with this huge RV. But here, that's the last farmhouse. There's snow. So 100 meters beside, a few yards beside, during the day, people have been skiing through the snow there. I'm standing in the middle of animals. There are donkeys, there are horses, there are cows, there are sheep, there are cats. So I really enjoy it. And thanks God to the technology, I can connect from here and participate. And I'm very looking forward to this topic, because I'm also very interested in what is in for an entrepreneur or even a solo entrepreneur.
Thank you so much, Roland. And I just want everyone to know that Roland did call me, and we did a video call, and he showed me he's in an RV. He showed me the setup with the green screen. He showed me what's going on there. So I really have to applaud you for taking this to another level. Thank you.
All right. When the why is strong enough, the how is not the problem.
You know what? That's so true. I love that. I want to bring out our guest, Tracy Lamourie. She came to our platform. I think Friday will be 2 weeks. I'm going to have to ask her. And I don't actually know how she found out about us. I need to ask her that too. But I was really impressed with her and invited her to come back for another interview. She came back for another interview. And I thought, you know what? I'm hiring her. That's it. So I reached out and we had a conversation, and here she is, and she's back now. She's going to talk to us about the value in hiring a publicist. She's a celebrity publicist. She's traveled all around the world with her clients. She's also an expert when it comes to travel and when it comes to fashion. She has her own company, and what she's done, what she's been able to create for people that are regular people. They don't have to be celebrities. When she's finished with them, they will be celebrity. That's what I'm saying. Let's hear what she has to say. Let's bring her out. Tracy Lamourie. Hi, welcome.
Super excited to be on this platform again with both of you. And yeah, how did I find out about you? That's what I do. I find out about all the awesome media and all the, high-end places to put my clients. So first I was looking for places for my clients, because I have awesome clients literally across industries and across borders. And you have a lot of great shows. You have the book show, you have the fashion show, you have the business show. So normally I'm looking at these things, for my client, not for myself. But also I've developed a passion for speaking to entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, mostly because this is why I'm writing the book that I've been asked to write, which is coming up, called Get Repped, is that they don't have a concept of PR and why they should use PR. And you often think PR, that's for a publicist, that's for celebrities, that's for sports stars. That's not for me in my little retail store, or me in my real estate business, or me in and literally my clients cover all levels, from major companies doing incredible things in the international sphere to a local person opening a store in their expertise. So whatever you do, you wouldn't be opening your business if you didn't understand that you were an expert in it. You do that well, or you wouldn't be taking people's money and asking them to support your work. So take that same confidence and understand that there are media opportunities. Aside from social media, we're talking about radio, television, newspapers, magazines, high-end podcasts, high-end online broadcasts, anything that fits your brand. And the opportunities are literally there, and a publicist knows how to find them. And you, with some work, could find and utilize some of them on your own if you weren't able to get a publicist. And I can give some of those tips and ways you should be thinking throughout the broadcast. But if you do have a budget, I do challenge people. I mean, I'm definitely, I'm interested in interesting projects around the world, but whether it's me or not, if you do have a budget, say for marketing, I challenge people to put a little bit less to marketing for 1 month and put a little bit in PR, and just see for yourself the kind of ROI that you get. Because for half of what you're paying for a big splashy ad somewhere, you get a publicist for the whole month doing real work for you, looking for all kinds of different opportunities. Some of my clients want speaking engagements. One client, in the 1 month of working together, I booked him on 3 major international stages for events, and these are giant events in his industry. Another client, after working together for 6 weeks, said to me she was in the stage of getting funding. So she was they had just done their pre-seed funding and they were looking for their seed funding. Mm-hmm. And she said to me, you've changed my business and my life. And I'm not trying to give myself accolades. I'm literally saying why. I said, why? She said, this could have been another publicist too. It's not me that, she said, you've made investors take us more seriously, or take me more seriously. Because we built her up, her profile. We had her being interviewed as a leader in the space. We put her up for an international award in a country her company wasn't even operating in yet, but she won that award for innovation. And then you add those things to the bio that develops more media opportunities. And then when someone is looking, it has the value that an ad does, because, those people will still see it and can come and buy your services. But it has so much more value, because when someone goes and searches your name, whether they're an investor to drop $1 million or 500 million on you, or whether it's a customer looking to see, whether should I work with you or your competitor. And you can have everybody on your street know about what you do. But if your next door neighbor that does what you do is getting media attention, is doing interviews as a thought leader, that's where the attention is going to go. So using this, media, real media, and developing your thought leadership with a little bit of work, balance of work and or money, depending whether you hire somebody and outsource it or whether you try to navigate the space yourself, is absolutely a value, literally no matter what you do. And people will still be sitting here thinking, oh, but not me. I guarantee, whether you are a landscaper, whether you clean toilets at a hotel, it doesn't matter what you do. You have expertise, and there are already media, not just a matter of putting out a press release and interesting people in your story, which we do, but there are literally incoming media opportunities that publicists see daily with things like Reader's Digest with a deadline at 4 p.m. where I'm looking to interview people who, whatever, contractors who, whatever, entrepreneurs who, literally every single, no matter what it is that you do, there are media opportunities waiting for you if you're looking for them and know how to address them.
Thank you, Tracy. That's really valuable information. Roland, I know that you had some questions about working with a publicist. What do you have for Tracy?
First of all, I have to digest. This is powerful. I love it. This is power. This is emotion. I love it. This is excitement. I love it.
I'm passionate about what I do because it works. Yeah.
I love it. This is so authentic. I love it. I love it. Well, I started my career as an entrepreneur many, many years ago, in my early years. And what I learned from failure is that I focus on that, what I can, what I love, what makes money, and everything I sort out.
Everything else comes. Yeah.
I sourced a lot of stuff out, but I didn't think about PR. PR.
See, this is why I spent so much time talking about it, because people don't. And look what an expert you are. Like, even just the 2 minutes that I've known you, I know I could be like, he has a global, what I mean? He has a global perspective. He has a career that he's internationally spoken to leaders across industries, across decades, teaching them how to lead, so right there, that leadership, there's a million media opportunities on leadership. That's just one thing I know about what you can speak on, so yeah, and people are always like, sorry, I don't know anything about PR. And I'm like, no, that's literally 80% of entrepreneurs and solopreneurs. They don't. And that's why I make it, this is a little advertorial, but not really. I want to say too, PR can be, like a marketing campaign. It can be super expensive and hard for a small company or an entrepreneur to access. It could be, if you call it a big PR house, the standard is usually $3,000 a month, 3 months minimum. And I'm certainly at that level in my industry where I could charge way more than that and only work with people who want to pay me that. But I specifically, I didn't come from this to find the highest price point. It's not why I came into PR. I literally came into PR as an accident of learning how to do this to get messaging out that mattered to me. And so over the years, I developed it as a business, and now I know, now it's for entrepreneurs and it's for sale. But I always wanted to be accessible to people like I used to be, which was somebody who didn't have a giant budget. And I know I've seen what PR can do, because look at my bio now. I've never placed a single ad. I've never spent 1 penny in advertising in a decade of business. I've spent a lot of my time talking. I've done a lot of media. I've done a lot of educating. And now I'm seeing that come in because it's all out there. And so I'll just get a call. Hey, I saw you on a podcast. But that's all been earned media. Talking. So I've proven it myself without a penny in my business, without having when I started this, I didn't have a bunch of celebrity contacts like I do now. I didn't have a degree because I didn't go to school for 5 years for this, because I didn't have the money to do that. I had started to do it without looking for a career. I had just a job. I was doing a job, and I started to do this and started to see how good I was at it. And it hit me at the age of 42. I'm 52 now. You know what? This is a thing that publicist, isn't that like a thing people pay for? And then I started to put it out there, and so that's what I want people to take away from it. What you need is passion. You need to be smart. You need to be strategic. You need to be willing to do the work, willing to do it. In the old days, I did it for less than anybody else would. My business consultant thinks that's ridiculous, but it took me a long time as an entrepreneur to price myself to my level. And now the price points that I offer, though, I have that high level pricing for those, but I make very careful to have different pricing packages that I believe that anybody in business can afford. If they can't afford it this month, because you think something rough, they can afford it next month if they want it, And when they do, they are going to be like, oh my gosh, why did I not do that before? Why? Because it's all of a sudden they're like, whoa. And one client just this week, literally, and it wasn't even a hard business story, but she is a business person getting results from that now. It was a personal story. I literally said to her, let me just show you what I was so struck by her personal story. I'm like, you know what? I know someone that's going to do this one. Let me just do it and show you what I can do without even asking you for any money. Let me just do it. And I got her this one article, and she called me about 2 hours after it was published, and after she published it to her socials, because she was so shocked at the response that it got from all these people in her life. Somebody messaged her that wants to do a documentary on her now. We got a local TV wanted to do, just from this one little article. So, that can happen, and then you're like, oh man, why wasn't I doing that before? And people feel like, I didn't know, but most people don't. So that's why it's become a passion to spend my time instead of, I'm not, I could be just billing all my billable hours, but instead I literally book in live shows, like booking TV, radio, podcasts is an integral part of making people understand, PR, because I know people don't really get it on a day-to-day level, because, a lot of times I'll meet people and they'll say, oh, so what do you do? And I say publicist, and they look at me like, and that's something they heard about on TV, but they're not really sure what that is or what you would do, or
Okay. Absolutely. To put it on a practical standard for understanding myself, and also for our business leaders who are watching us, when somebody starts working together with you, how does it work exactly? What is the begin? What is your task? I guess the entrepreneur has a task too. I guess there's a commitment. So how does it look
basically
like?
They decide up front, and Dr. JACALYN and I are working on some special packages, that are super, really affordable, and that we can really introduce it to people. We'll talk about all that elsewhere, but in terms of how it works, traditionally people will choose a package, whether it's 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. 3 months is a sweet spot, or 6 months, but because most publicists, like most marketing, most people won't even do anything that's under 3 months, because you like to have you need to be able to time to build on strategy and build on what you accomplished and all that before you close it up. But I do a 1 month. If someone has an event coming up, they haven't done anything, or they have a book coming out, they haven't, we can do that. So anyway, they pick their time period. They pay up front because it's the client that pays me. Similar to the way you pay a lawyer, only I don't take, if you pay for the month, that's for the whole month. And we decide together what you need done. And you're not going to get me telling you, oh, now you need to add more money or anything like that. So they decide, do they want the 1 month, right? The 3 month, the 6 month, whatever. And then I just say, send me whatever you have existing. If you have an existing bio, send it. I'll make it more compelling and more like, put in those buzzwords and those words that talk about why you're an expert, not just an expert, but why you're a compelling interview and why you're the one to interview and the expertise you have and all that. So I create that nice little pitch, that you get to save. And then you send me your links, any socials, all that stuff. So I just put it all together into, there's my expert. And then if you have something right now going on, we'll work on a press release. We'll put it out either locally, telling your local media, your local TV, your local radio, wherever you're at. If it's a place I know or a place I don't know, that doesn't matter. It's as long as it's English language media, we know how to put it out there. And then the other side of it is all month long or all period long, we're looking for opportunities for you. Like, we're monitoring 2 or 3 hours a day I spend going through all these different platforms. Some I spend $400 a month on, some are free, some are hashtags, some are reporters who just message me, hey, do you have anybody for this? But I'm always looking for opportunities where there's going to be a story and they're looking for a source. And so I'm like, oh, hey, Dr. Jacqueline, I need your quote on what entrepreneurs are, because you speak to so many entrepreneurs across the country. What are entrepreneurs thinking in 2022? Forbes magazine wants quotes from business leaders. Give me a quote. And then she would verbally give me one or send me the answer. I send it to the reporter. The next thing you know, we're in Forbes, if that pitch flew. So a lot of it's pitching. A lot of it is previous relationships that I have with reporters, with editors, with producers. Like now, for example, that I know Dr. Jacqueline, I'll be pitching, my clients who I think fit on these particular shows, at least for their first, so I'm always looking for opportunities so that when someone comes to me, I have, I got you in this article, I got you in this. Very quickly, we have a whole bunch of things that we can start with. And then we're looking at the landscape for other incoming. And then we're looking at them for their stories and reaching out and hoping to interest media, whether it's locally, globally, nationally, internationally, from Dubai to Toronto to Los Angeles.
Okay. Does it make sense for a European entrepreneur who is listening to us to start with a PR from the US for the US market?
Sorry? For me?
Does it make sense for a European entrepreneur who is listening?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm from Canada, so when I have Canadian clients, most of my clients are in the U.S. now because it's a big market. But when I have Canadian clients or clients in Dubai I have a client in Germany, I have a client in England. We look at we always look at their local, depending on what they're selling. Obviously, they're going to be wanting to reach out to their local market, right? But then I always say, even if you're like for example, I had a hairstylist in a small town in Canada. He was rocking and looked like Hollywood, but he wasn't. Did all these great things on socials. But you know what? 2 weeks after working with me, I literally had him in the Hollywood Times, and they were talking in an article. It was talking about where he was born, which was somewhere in the Middle East. I can't remember. It was something. So it was something we had like an alliteration from whatever to Hollywood, even though he hadn't actually been to Hollywood yet, but he was becoming a celebrity stylist. So we were like using Hollywood as so Hollywood Times printed him. So it doesn't matter because number one, he could be, that makes him the celebrity stylist who ultimately could get flown to Hollywood, to work, for a celebrity. But also it doesn't really matter where that article comes, because what happened is, he said, well, I don't have any clients in Hollywood. It doesn't matter. People that can come to me in Hollywood. I'm just on this street here. I said, put that up in your window. As featured in Hollywood Times. What do you think happened? Oh my God!
Starts ringing off the hook.
Whoa! All of a sudden, he is the star of that chat. And also when they go and Google your name and that comes up, oh my! where am I going to get my hair done in this little town? Oh my God! That guy was featured in. And that's just one example. But it doesn't matter where that's where the thought leadership matters. When I search your name, what comes up? Is it only your content? Is it? I mean, you can have beautiful social media, which you can have a fantastic website, which you can pay someone to develop for you. You can, have a beautiful deck if you're looking for $500,000, don't whatever, you know what I mean? Beautiful deck. But now I'm going to go to that thing called Google and search to see who these people are. And that's the same whether you're giving money or whether you're doing a GoFundMe or something like that, right? Who are the people behind it? Let's go search. Well, if you go and search Tracy Lamourie now to decide if you're going to hire her or whatever, 8,000 things come up. 1 million interviews with me talking about my expertise. Interview TV, okay, clearly, I guess she could be a good talker, but clearly she's convinced a lot of people that she knows what she's doing. Like that clearly. And then you listen, she clearly does. And someone else has done all those things for you. Someone else has put them up. Someone else has made the nice graphics. I just had to come up and just like you do for people that work with you. They just have to come in with this turnkey solution. It's almost like being a guest, right? Like, but they own it, and they just come in, they do it, all the graphics, it's all set up, and that's the value of it too. When you're guesting on things, or you can't make that stuff up. You cannot buy that. You can hire the publicist to find you those opportunities, but you cannot buy those opportunities. So when someone is going to see, should I give this person my money? Should I give them these things? Should I hire them? Are they the most valuable? Should I give them the corner office? Should I buy their book over that guy's book? Whatever it is that you're selling, it elevates you. It's that believability factor, that third party, whatever they have a buzzword for it now, that third party authenticate, whatever they call it, I can't remember now, but it's why people want the big blue mark on the Twitter and the blue mark on Instagram. They want that verification that they're not just who they say they are, but that the world thinks they're something.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So many great points that we can dive into after we take the quick break. This break is actually going to feature a couple of people who are in my new book, which we still haven't decided if the cover is going to be orange or yellow, but this is the orange cover. Roland is actually in the new book. Yay. But we don't have a clip for you, Roland, so we'll have to change that. So we're going to take a look at a couple of people's clips. I really want to spotlight them. First, we're going to look at a movie trailer for Paul Connolly. He's featured in the book, and this film clip that we're going to see is about his life. And then we're going to look at Madeline Chan, who's also in the book. We're going to listen to her music video, and we'll be right back after that. Here we go with Paul Connolly.
That place, those people.
We need to talk to you about your time growing up in St Leonard's Children's Home. 6 of your 8 housemates committed suicide, Mr. Connolly. I'm afraid I have to tell you that another child in your care home, Liam Carroll, has also recently taken his own life.
Jason, Andrew. Liam. I need to find some people. I said get out! I've got to end them. Ah!
If you'll let me spending the rest of your life in prison, boy, I'm happy to tell you what you need to know.
By your love, what you're giving me is just not enough. I need a love to take me higher and higher and higher. Every step I take, I feel more awake. Getting closer now, I feel so alive. Stopping me, this is how I live. Ever closer now, just follow love. Love will take you there. Just follow love. Follow me. Just follow love. Love will take you there. Just
it's funny because, the company's got my name on it, and I started doing, I'm very passionate about what I do, and I haven't learned how to, I said to my husband, literally, there must be, I'm sure not the first entrepreneurs had this problem. I said, you know what I need? I need the kind of consultant, and I know they exist, but I have to know who teaches an entrepreneur who's been super successful, a solopreneur, how to become like, because I'm incorporated, but I still pretty much act like a freelancer in terms of like, holding, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to separate yourself so the business is separate from you. I'm not explaining it well.
I know
so
exactly what you mean.
To let somebody else run it for a week. To me, the business is me primarily, and I feel like I have to get away from that, but I feel like the people who hire me, it's been so intrinsically attached to my brand and what I do, and I don't really want to become one of those, which is true of a lot of other PR companies. Not to diss them, I'm sure they do great work, but when you call them, you end up speaking to someone like me. The senior, there's no one like me, sorry, but no, you speak to the senior, like the senior established person. But what happens is then they give your work to a junior, an account manager who is literally just learning, or they might have been for a couple of years or whatever, but they're not the one you're going to find when you Google. I'm sure they do great work. We all started there, but you're paying the big bucks at these big things to get a person like me talking to you, and then somebody else doing all the work. And I don't know, I'm having trouble getting to that. I think I need to do that. It needs to be my next step. I know there's other awesome people that can come in to my process that I can trust, but there's so much trust too between me and client, whether it's celebrity or an entrepreneur, or, there's it has to be an awesome person who I know is as deeply committed to the projects as I am before I would be ever willing to hand it over to them, because somebody's putting their trust in me. And especially with a smaller solar, with a big company, a big project, it's one thing, we can all get it done. But when somebody is putting their life saving, the big portion of the money they have for the company in your hands for that month, that's a big responsibility. And it's the ones that pay you lesser sometimes, like the smaller guys, contrary to which some people may be like, oh, they're the smaller clients. I feel more responsibility in some ways to those ones, because I know it's a bigger portion of their budget. It's a bigger deal to them. More hopes are pinned on that than the big corporate one who's just throwing whatever. And let's see what you can get from me today, Trace. I treat all clients exactly the same way, whether they're the higher $3,000 a month one, or somebody I've given it a deal at $500 for this, and this in a boutique package. When I'm working on that hour, that's them and nothing else interrupts. And that's the media calls. And if a media calls for the smallest guy, we stop everything we're doing, because, or the biggest, because media doesn't wait. So they always get, who do you want? Hold up, I got a media call for someone. But other than that, nobody, a big spender can't interrupt that hour that I have with my little. I don't look at it like little or big. Every project is hugely important. And, I wouldn't take it on if I didn't resonate with it. So whatever stage that project is at, that's what we're working on.
I like that. I absolutely like that. From my understanding is, okay, you said the client who is starting to work with you brings you or sends you all the links of the social medias, using all the platforms, the websites. You're looking for opportunities. And what are the next steps? What is the client's task? What has he or she or the organization to do?
But they're going to be hearing from me very soon with, okay, I pitched you and we got a yes from the editor. And so, for example, one of the first things is, I get a feature article about them. So 90%. So some people are shy and they're like, oh, I don't know. Well, just to reassure those people, 80% of this is not TV and radio. So you can build up to that. 80% of this is even for the TV and radio, they do interviews, like you'd be surprised, right? Like, half of it's by email first, and then maybe you do your 2 minutes, but your back and forth is usually by email where they ask questions. So I'll get a bunch of questions from an editor, and then I'll be like, okay, Dr. JACALYN, I've got these 10 questions. We're going to do a feature article on you. And, I need these answers. So then you can either sit there and answer them to your leisure and send me your answers, or we can do a call, which I've started for a lot of my clients, even some who are writers, because of the time factor. When you're like, here, I have all these things. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And it ends up being it's another job you got to do and you don't do it, right? But if I say, hey, can I give you a call? And then I'll ask you the questions, and then you just tell me, which is better anyway, because then it comes off as that kind of back and forth the reporter wants, which is an actual interview, not an essay. If you're typing it to them, so people can either just send me their answers, or we can do a call and they tell me. I'm like, hey, tell me what like I have a hotel client. He's getting things like, what are some of the ways that the supply chain crisis affected the hotel industry? So I'll call him up. He can tell me, oh boy, he has the experience to tell me. And I'm like, okay, stop, we got enough. So it's easy to do. It's just a matter of you telling me what your experiences are if you say, oh, that's what I can answer. So basically I'm bringing opportunities to you right away, and like right away, media opportunities from the things I already know before you hire me, or I wouldn't take a client on, that I can get for you. And then I'm asking you, okay, what about you? Do you have something going on that you were already thinking you want to do some messaging about? We can see, and that's obviously hit or miss. We don't know what media is going to pick it up, but that's part of the strategy to figure out where it's most likely to be placed, whether it's local or national, and do that. And then the other half is the other half. Your messaging, putting out your releases, and then just the incoming stuff and all of that. Look, if you wanted to get on stages, so some people want speaking engagements, like I said, looking for awards. So I basically take the information you get me, and like I said in a podcast one day, this just came out and it was beautiful. So I quote myself now all the time, but it was just like, literally, I said, my job is to elevate and celebrate the awesome things that other people are doing. So you're doing this awesome whatever, and my job is to shine a light on it and be like, say, literally, like, you know, my clients laugh when we go out, like the ones I actually meet in person because we're local, or I'm in LA visiting her, and we'll be out talking, you know, just in the course, and they'll be explaining what they do, and I'll just be like, and by the way, you know, and they're like, see, this is the thing you wouldn't normally say about yourself, but it's true. This, you know, she's got this absolutely epic brand. And then that's what gets the attention. So it's just, you know, and none of it's a lie. All of it's true, but people don't know it unless you tell them, you know? So my job is to tell people how about the legitimately awesome thing my clients do. And I don't work for, you know, tobacco companies or cigarette companies, or I mean, whatever. I don't work for anybody that I always say that, you know, that young activist me who learned how to write a press release to get out messaging, not to make $1. You know, I always want that young activist me to be proud of this new doing really well in the business world, corporate incorporated me, you know, because I'm doing well now, and I don't want that to be on. I don't want to have changed my values and stuff to do that, you know. So.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there are so many entrepreneurs, or especially solo entrepreneurs, that are really excellent at what they're doing, and they die in beauty because nobody knows about her or him.
I know, and they're awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny because I meet people all the time that I just hear what they do, and I'm literally like, whoa, wow, like that's all, like, have you done any media about that? And they look at me like, again, that look, and I'm like, well, no, media, that's a story. Like, you should. But people don't think about that, right? So they don't. But and then they're surprised when, you know, you write it up. And another thing too is that what people, I think we touched on this before, Dr. JACALYN, about, you know, I always forget what they call that, imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. But a lot of it's happened, not just women, where you feel like you just feel like, oh, well, yeah, I don't know about me. That feeling when you're like, oh, me, really? I don't know if they would talk to. Yeah, and again, you know, really understand that. Yeah, you're not. It's not, and it's not bragging. It's not making yourself like. There's a difference between being confident and sharing your accomplishments, which actually, if you're doing it right, inspires and elevates other people. You're not doing it like, oh, well, I want. Did you hear about the awards that I've won? I'm gonna see your awards. I mean, you're not doing it like that. You know what I mean? So, but people have they feel that a lot. They feel like, oh, I don't like to brag about myself. I hear that every day. It's like, no, you're not though. You're a hugely accomplished person, and you're sharing those accomplishments. Weren't those accomplishments? And it's not about saying applauding. Like, say somebody will say it's not necessarily they work in a nonprofit. Say it's a woman in banking. Doesn't even have to be a nonprofit. But aren't you? You know, you're proud of those things. They were accomplishments, right? And aren't you? And again, there's a difference between bragging and like allowing accomplishments to shine, because other people seeing that somebody can do it. Like, and I always minimize. I mean, like, hey, listen, if the fat girl from high school with the crazy red hair, you know, can do it, so can you. You know what I mean? I would have. There's always a different way, A, B, or C. Do I look super corporate even today? If I didn't have now I go into offices, anybody will hire me if I wanted. They'd be like, please come. But, you know, in the old days when I didn't have, you know, all that list of whatever, and I would come in trying to prove you know, I had this and whatever. It doesn't matter. So if I had to decide, do I want to be that corporate? Do I want to change? Not really. So what do I do then? I'm still going to be successful. So I find another way. I start my own thing. I prove myself. You know, there's always a way. If A, B, C doesn't work for you, there's D, E, F. And now I'm super grateful that A and B wouldn't have worked for me, because if they had, then I would have just been being a middle manager somewhere, not an international global award-winning publicist, which I'm proud of, because that shouldn't have happened for me. That wasn't in the cards, you know.
Well done.
But the lesson is everybody can do that, because if I can do it, on a wing and a prayer and the passion and hard work. I mean, hard work, but the self-confidence to believe that I could is intrinsic, because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have been able to work hard. And, you know, I wouldn't have been able to prove myself, and I wouldn't have been able to say, no,
Beautiful.
which is kind of fun sometimes.
So, Tracy, as we come to the end of our show, it goes by so fast. I know.
Oh my gosh. You're going to be like, I'm never having her on again because she just talks and takes over the whole show.
Well, the show's about you, so that's okay. So one thing I'd love for you to share for people who are watching or listening who were guests or coming on as guests onto USA Global TV and radio, we're going to be putting together some really cool packages. Why should people who are coming on as guests, why should they reach out? Like, how can you help even, you know, a person coming on a live broadcast?
Well, number one, excellent job with the first step that they're taking, or, you know, the steps they're taking to be heard. That's amazing. And for the exact same reasons they're doing that, they should continue to do this. So, you know, I take whatever you do here, just like I take your book or your company or whatever, and we build with that, and we, you know, grow with that. And this is, you know, a platform. The fact that you're on this platform, so again, this is television. And so you're radio ready, you're TV ready. So use that, do that. Take that same knowledge, that same confidence you have that you're developing. You know, you may be nervous to come on, but, you know, Dr. JACALYN and her co-hosts make you feel, you know, like you're at home. So don't be nervous. And yeah, just continue that speaking out is very powerful in today's world, in today's platform. It's the only way really to differentiate yourself and to develop whatever it is you're doing, whether you're an author, whether you're a business person, whatever it is. So, you know, you're on the absolute right track. What you're doing with Dr. JACALYN is elevating your brand. It's shining a light on what you're doing on a national level, on a global level. You know why you're doing that. You're doing that for the right reasons. And those reasons are the exact same reasons why you should take the next step. And, you know, because we're partnered. So, you know, anybody that Dr. JACALYN's working with, I know is at the level that I will want to work with, you know, no matter what your industry is. I trust Dr. JACALYN, you know, she's bringing me awesome people, and, you know, so yeah. Do what you're doing and let the world hear it. And so keep on doing it. So take this and run with it. Be a guest, become a host, take every opportunity that she can provide for you, because this is an amazing platform. I test things out before I put my clients on, and now I'm sending all my clients to this one because it's like super pro, super impressive, global, you know. So yeah, so the same reasons you're doing this, which is a really good instinct, keep on doing it, and you will see after doing this with Dr. JACALYN, you're going to start seeing the benefits. And after working a month, like I say, I challenge anybody, try PR for a month. If you can't swing a 3-month package, even in a month, you're going to get results. Absolutely. We don't know all the results you're going to get. I know in my head some of them that you're going to get, but you are going to be blown away by the results, and you're going to literally be like, okay, more of that, please. So I don't mind if people get the 1-month package.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Tracy, if you would stay after the show so we can have a quick chat backstage, that would be great. All right. Fantastic. So for people who want to reach out to you, we have your contact information, but if you want to share for the people listening on all the radio stations now.
Yeah, that's right. Radio. Welcome radio to, yeah. So yeah, you can reach me at lamouriemedia.com. That's LAMOURIE media.com in my radio voice. Or you can reach me at lamouriepr@gmail.com. Again, that's LAMOURIE and then PR like public relations @gmail.com. Or find me on Instagram, Tracy Lamourie PR Media. On Facebook is just my name. And all of those platforms, there's only one Tracy Lamourie, and she's got the bright red hair, so you can find me. And yeah, I'd be more than happy to talk with you personally about what we can do. And I think we're all going to have a group chat for those of us who are a part of the family, you know. But for those of you just listening, you know, I'm happy to do a consult, a few minutes where we can, half an hour, if you say that you heard me here, say you're a friend of Dr. JACALYN, and we can do a free consult where we talk specifically about you and your brand, where I'm giving you actual facts about what we would do for you and what you could expect.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
You got me. I'm on fire. I will call you.
Let's do it. Fire. I like to hear that. My friends call me Mama Fire. I was named that by an elder in Jamaica. And my friends were all like, too perfect.
And for Roland and for any of our team members, we are having a team meeting on the 19th at 4 p.m. So Tracy will be joining us, and we'll be going over packages and everything else that's
Cool.
we're going to be doing. So, all right, Tracy, thank you so much. I'll see you backstage.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys, Tracy.
Roland, thank you so much for being here. I'm so appreciative that you spent 3 hours in the RV sitting for us. So tell us how people can reach out to you.
Okay. So if you want to reach out to me, the best way is to go on my website. It's my name, ROLANDFRIEDL.com. I will spell it for you guys. It's ROLANDFRIEDL.com. This is my main website, meaning because my offering is so broad. And then you can choose whatever you need, and then you will be linked to different websites who go much deeper in the topic that you are interested in. Whatever it is, just contact me. It's not only about making business. It's about connecting with people. I love that. I love to learn from you. I love to hear from you. What drives you? What triggers you? What your goals are? So don't hesitate to contact me. I'm very looking forward to that. Thank you.
Fantastic. And Roland, if you could wait backstage just for a moment as well, that'd be great.
I
We're having a
will.
party backstage. Okay, see you soon. Thank you, everyone, from the bottom of my heart. I say this over and over again. I truly mean it. We are just so thrilled to have you watching and or listening. Now that we're on the radio, you can take us with you wherever you go. You can go to MyTuner, MYTUNER radio, RADIO.com, right on your computer. Or you could go to the App Store and download MyTuner. You can hear us 24/7 while you're sleeping. I'm still there. It's Dr. JACALYN. It's Dr. JACALYN. So our next shows coming up are our Talking Head series, where our experts have 30 minutes to themselves. I open and close the show, so do stick around for those. That's what we'll be streaming the rest of the afternoon. If you missed it yesterday, I highly recommend that you go over to our YouTube channel, to a brand new playlist called the Talking Heads panel, and you take a look at the show that we did yesterday. It was our first panel show. Roland was on there, and I was moderating with our experts, and we were discussing banning plastic, pro or con, and a lot of things came up from there: recycling, pollution in the water, how we're going to take care of our planet. As a result of that, we're going to be having a new show coming out. So I'm going to be speaking to Roland about it shortly, about what we can do to save our planet, clean this planet up. So look for more exciting shows coming. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV, and we would love to have you as part of our family. You can book in your interview, go over to usaglobaltv.com. And in case you're wondering, we are not changing all the branding to USA Global TV Radio because it's not cost effective at the moment. So, all right. Thanks again for being here. We'll see you shortly on Talking Heads. Bye.